Welcome back, everyone. Man, if you've been watching the AI space lately, you know exactly how chaotic it feels right now, right? Like there are literally a million tutorials out there, and trying to piece them all together, it can leave you absolutely overwhelmed. Well, if you've been thinking to yourself, I don't just want to use these tools, I actually want to build them, then you are in the exact right place. I'm so thrilled to guide you through this explainer today because we're going to look at the ultimate blueprint for AI agent mastery. We're talking about a highly structured, super logical 4 to 6 week learning path. It's going to take you from an absolute beginner to a confident AI agent builder. We'll break down the exact foundational skills you need. No fluff, no endless tutorial loops, just a super clear path forward. We've got a great builder's blueprint for today. We're going to cover what are AI agents, mastering the AI brain, the art of prompting, connecting to the world, leveraging powerful agent frameworks, and finally, building your first agent.
All right, let's dive right into step 1. What are AI agents?
Now, this foundational phase takes just 1 to 2 days, but to get your mental model right, we really have to start with the single most common point of confusion. You might be wondering, what actually is the difference between ChatGPT and an AI agent? It's a totally fundamental beginner question, but answering it correctly, well, it changes how you view literally everything that comes next in your learning journey. Let's draw a clear line between the two. A normal large language model? It's chat-based. It just generates text. Think of it like a really smart consultant. You ask it for a recipe, and it gives you a list of ingredients. It answers you, and then it just stops. An AI agent, on the other hand, is autonomous. It's action-oriented. It doesn't just give you the recipe, it logs into your grocery app, adds the items to your cart, and actually orders the ingredients right to your front door. So while a normal LLM just talks to you, an agent takes real-world action to accomplish a goal. Huge difference.
The core loop of how an agent operates autonomously really boils down to 3 simple steps: perceive, reason, act. It's actually a lot like our own human thought process. Let's walk through a quick micro scenario. Say you ask an agent to analyze a stock for you. First, it perceives the request. Second, it reasons that, hey, I need current pricing data to give a good answer. Third, it acts. It pulls data from a live finance API. And then, the cool part, it loops right back around to perceive if the data it just pulled is actually correct, or if it needs to try searching again. Your milestone for this first step is simple but super powerful. You should be able to explain this perceive, reason, act cycle in your own words. And you want to do this before writing a single line of code.
Okay, moving on to step 2, mastering the AI brain.
You're going to want to spend about 3 to 5 days in this phase. Now that you know what an agent is, you got to understand the engine that powers its reasoning, right? That's the large language model, which acts as your agent's fundamental brain. And wow, there is a massive landscape of brains available to you right now. You've got your commercial models like GPT-4o, Claude Sonnet, and Gemini. These are incredibly smart right out of the box. But right alongside them, you have open source powerhouses like Llama 4, DeepSeek, and Qwen. These are amazing because they offer incredible privacy and cost control. You need to know what these models can do because that dictates how you drive your agent. The milestone here, it's just feeling totally confident in picking the right model for your specific project.
But to drive that brain effectively, you have to know its boundaries. You got to grasp concepts like the context window. Think of this as the AI's short-term memory. Like, how many pages of a book can it hold in its head before it totally forgets what happened in chapter 1? You also need to understand temperature. This is a setting that controls the randomness and creativity of the model. If you want a creative writing agent, you crank the temperature up so it gets inventive. But if you want a strict data analysis agent, you turn that temperature down so it stays entirely factual and doesn't, hallucinate. Understanding these boundaries makes sure you don't lose control of the agent's brain.
Which brings us to step 3, the art of prompting.
According to the blueprint, you're going to dedicate a full week to this phase. And why a whole week? Well, because prompt engineering is the absolute most direct, lowest cost way to steer your agent's behavior. This is where you really learn to talk to the brain. And it all starts with the system prompt. Now, this isn't just some simple question you ask in AI. No, it is the core structural design, the personality, and the rule set assigned to govern the AI's behavior. It's like giving the agent its foundational instructions, its operational guardrails, and even its role-pointing persona. Let me tell you, a high-quality system prompt is the absolute bedrock of a stable AI agent.
To write those high-quality prompts, you need to master a few core techniques. You'll move from zero shot, which is just asking the AI directly, to few shot, where you provide examples. But pay really special attention to chain of thought, or COT. This forces the agent to think step by step, making its reasoning so much more reliable. Your ultimate milestone for this week is getting your prompt to stably output expected structured formats like JSON or Markdown. Why is that such a big deal for a beginner?
Because JSON is the universal language that software uses to talk to other software. When your agent can consistently talk in JSON, it can finally communicate with the rest of the digital world. It's a total game changer.
All right, on to step 4, connecting to the world.
We spend 1 to 2 weeks here. Up until now, our agent has basically just been a brain in a jar. Now we're going to give it hands to break free from those text-only limitations. The magic that makes this happen is called function calling. It is the mechanism that allows the AI to execute specific external tools using predefined JSON schemas. This is the bridge. This is exactly how your agent decides, oh, actually, I don't know the answer to that. Let me search the web. Or let me check the weather API. Or let me query our internal company database.
Giving your agent hands means working with real-world technical bridges. So you'll be working with function calling, REST APIs, getting into Python integration, and even exploring the new MCP protocol. If you aren't familiar with it, the MCP protocol is basically a universal, plug-and-play standard for connecting AI directly to your local computer and your personal data. I know, it sounds super technical, but this learning path maps it out so clearly. The milestone you're aiming for this week is genuinely thrilling. You want to sit back and watch your agent autonomously call an external API to complete a real task without your intervention. It's a massive light bulb moment for sure.
Step 5. Leveraging powerful agent frameworks. You'll spend 2 weeks in this assembly phase, so you have all the individual skills, but you really don't want to build everything from scratch every single time. Frameworks act as pre-built Lego sets, so we don't have to reinvent the wheel, and choosing the right framework for the job is totally crucial. If you need robust tool chains and memory management, you look at LangChain. But what if you want multiple AI agents debating and collaborating together to solve some highly complex problem? That is when you pull out AutoGen or Crew AI. If you want an agent operating entirely locally on your hard drive, there's OpenClaw. Or for self-evolving memory, you might use Hermes Agent. Basically, you're standing on the shoulders of giants here. The milestone for this 2-week phase is to use one of these frameworks to build a multi-step agent that actually remembers past interactions.
And finally, step 6, building your first agent. We have reached the final summit. This is a 1-week phase where you integrate absolutely everything you've learned. It's where you make that ultimate leap from being a learner to being a true builder. Just look back at how this timeline builds upon itself. You spent days 1 and 2 establishing your mental models. Days 3 to 5 learning the LLM brain. Week 2, mastering the prompt. Weeks 3 and 4 connecting APIs. Weeks 5 and 6 leveraging the frameworks. And now, in this final week, the whole blueprint comes together from start to finish. You select a real use case, you design your tools, write the code, and debug it edge to edge.
And why do we do all of this? For one very specific number: 1. Your ultimate milestone is to end up with exactly one real end-to-end demonstratable agent that you can publish on GitHub or show to your team. Listen, you don't need a dozen half-finished projects. We follow this highly structured path to break you out of tutorial hell. You just need one complete build to prove to yourself that you have truly mastered the foundational skills of AI agent development.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a little bit of a challenge. You have the blueprint. You see the clear, structured learning path right in front of you. The only thing left to decide is this: what real-world problem will your first AI agent solve? Think about a repetitive task in your day, or maybe a data problem at work, and let that be the spark that starts your building journey today. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.